Can you share a little bit about yourself and the type of shoulder pain you were experiencing before working with us?
I had shoulder pain that meant I couldn't sleep sometimes, okay? And then it was also I couldn't sleep even lying down like this, uh, let alone, you know, the sleeping positions we all lo Yeah, exactly. I mean, doesn't matter. Everyone says, "Oh, don't sleep on your side," or something like that. I can't tell my sleeping self that, right? I end up there, right? Or curled up next to Brian or something. And So there was a lot of pain in that. I had a lot of clicking. I have a lot less clicking now, which is interesting. It tends to be like the first movement. It used to be anything hurt and everything hurt, continuous pain. And I'd taking a lot of herbs. I was trying to avoid. I can't really take Advil and or ibuprofen and
Because of the stomach stuff?
happens because my stomach. I used to, have trouble painting. Now, today, for instance, that first movement I'll feel. The second one, no. The third one, okay, we're off and running. Okay. And so that means to me, this is all soft tissue. This is all the muscles, not being the way they used to be, which was ready and able right away. They have to be warmed up. If I do something a couple of times, things relieve. One the biggest thing has been the change in the upper back and the sternum. It's just I feel like I've gotten an extra half inch there. Because that was
Taller?
taller.
Yeah.
Yeah, and not much wider. Not I haven't got back up to my great big pecs and I have no desire to.
What do you think about the way we like structured your rehab program? Was there like anything unique or like different that stood out to you?
Well, one of the things that stood out to me is that when you moved, I mean, I like the people I've gone to a lot of PT people, and I like best the people I went to last who were the people who were doing the stem cells and they had PT. The problem with them is it was always the same. It was always the same each week. You come and do the same things. Maybe they'd add something or something. The thing that I really liked about what you did is that you moved through very different exercises that seemed to address some of the same things, but got a more holistic sort of because the shoulders. I mean, how many muscles are there? It's like
So much,
if
man. Shoulder's one piece of the puzzle, right?
shoulders. I think that the reason I jumped on board. I mean, I made these decisions like this on both stem cells and this is when you talked about the neck.
Mm.
When you spotted the problem with the neck as being crucial, that has remained something that if I'm at an opera and I'm feeling pain in my shoulder, I do this. I may look like a goof, but I don't care.
Feels better.
And sure enough, the pain goes away, you know. So I'm no, and I know from the X-rays that I had when I was doing my hips that the readout was compression in the cervical, thoracic, and lumbar spine. Curves in the thoracic. The spine's like this isn't from the side. This is from the front.
Right.
You know, so and so that was really, really important. And that remains important to my thinking about this is that, for instance, when I'm doing that elbow thing, what am I thinking about? I'm thinking about the sequencing up from the sacrum as I go from here all the way to there. I want to feel the whole thing up to my neck, because what I think I'm doing is I'm finding a way to reorganize the back. And that twisting motion, it's obvious that it gets the lumbar, but it's not so obvious that, and the reason it gets to the thighs because the arms are up here and you're pulling it around. So,
All those areas. Yeah.
yeah. So all of those have been really, really good, and I think that and the fact that we can talk, we can message, I can do it from 6:05 to 6:35 in the morning, have breakfast, do some biking and do a little bit more and get out the door by 8, and
Yeah.
that's perfect for me. With the physical therapist in the city, it was like, you go there, you know, it's all, it's a 3-hour process, and I couldn't do that every day. I'm an absolute believer that these things have to be done incredibly regularly, not necessarily
Yes.
great long times, but just these, I mean, some of them are sort of crazy. I mean, I still marvel at the kick one, in the morning is I go like, why does this seem to do so much? Or the ones where I was lifting my toes,
Yeah.
and moving the foot around. I'm saying, why does this seem to help my ankle and my knee so much? But this is the nature of physical therapy. It's these very small movements isolating the muscles.
Everything just
And
kinda builds upon it, man. Like, if you know where somebody like, what they need in that specific, like, movement pattern, you can build and, like, really check the boxes for it. Let me ask you this other question here, man. Like, what would you say to someone who's, like, hesitant about starting a virtual shoulder, like, rehab program?
the medical community gives you really only one option, and that's some sort of surgery. The problem with surgery is it's like, I mean, this is one of the conversations I had with my brother. He has been told he had two torn meniscuses in each in his shoulders. They did by the way, I've never done any sort of MRI or CAT scan. I've only done an X-ray, and there's a reason why. Because
Yeah.
I don't want to know. I don't want to know which tendon is doing. Because yeah, what does it mean, right?
Exactly.
Um,
What does it
but
mean? What do you do with that?
Right. Well, of course, one of the shoulders, the doctor went in and, quote, reattached it and did some sort of blah, blah, blah. That shoulder remained painful, still is painful, remains painful. It's the one he's gotten. I like the fact that I can do it on my own. I can text you with comments and you tell what maybe and then things get changed and we revisit things and we go on and there's a kind of exploration going on. I think that's the big thing is that you can do these 1 week increments where, 1 week of the given thing and you do it 7 times, sometimes more than 7 times if I do a double day or something like that. And much more happens than if you're going in once or twice a week to somebody who's in Midtown. The kind of thing we're talking about here is this degeneration of the, and it's not to my mind it's not really the bones in the end. It's the effect they're having on the soft tissue. And yes, I have arthritis, but everybody has arthritis.
Yes.
You know,
Everyone's got arthritis, and that's a normal part of aging. It's not a
yeah. Yeah,
diagnosis.
this is what one physiatrist admitted. He said, "Look, 85% of the people over 50 have arthritis. 30% of them have symptoms. Why? You know, It's not the arthritis. It's not the fact that you've lost some cartilage. It's the fact that that's affected things and you've stopped using muscles and you've got an imbalances and you've got sometimes it's, I mean, people talk about inflammation now with this. Oh, you've all got inflammation. Your inflammation levels are so low. I mean, I have very little inflammation.
Right.
So it's not that. It's not just that I've got inflammation. I'm not, and I don't have, I'm not getting swollen joints.
Right.
It's not the joints aren't getting swollen. The muscles and tendons are not functioning in the way that they should. And we're going to try and figure out how to work them slowly and gradually to get them back